Hi guys, this week is the week of April 13th. Our weekly is Greta Thunberg and the Earth. This is the advanced version.
News to you. April 13th, 2020. Greta Thunberg and Earth. Many people want to protect Earth. Many people celebrate protecting Earth on Earth Day, which is April 22nd. One person who wants to protect Earth is Greta Thunberg. Greta is a 17-year-old girl who was born in Sweden. Greta has Asperger's syndrome, which is a kind of autism. People with autism think differently. They find some things easier to do, but other things harder to do. Greta says Asperger's syndrome is like her superpower. It helps her think differently. It helps her think about things that are important to her.
So Greta is one of those people that would like to protect the Earth. Earth Day is coming up, and normally if we were in school, we would be doing something Earth Day related to celebrate it. Earth Day is just a day for people to be aware and to participate in things that can help save the Earth. Greta is 17 years old, so she's about the same age as some of you in our classrooms, close to them or just a little bit older than them. Greta has Asperger's, so it is a form of autism. Some of the students in our classes have autism, and it doesn't mean anything bad. She thinks differently than other people.
One thing that is very important to Greta is stopping climate change. Climate is the typical weather in a place. Many people think the climate is changing, which could be dangerous for Earth. Changes in climate may cause floods, storms, wildfires, and more. Greta first learned about climate change when she was 8 years old. Greta started making changes in her life she thought would help Earth. She wanted to encourage government leaders to make changes too. She started protests in front of government buildings. During her first protest, she was alone. Then people started to join her.
So when she first started protesting to stop climate change, she was all by herself. And what climate change is, it's the changing of the weather that is typical in certain places. So for us, summertime starts May area, and that can actually start to change and become earlier or later with climate change. Greta learned about it when she was 8. So she then started wanting to see about changing how people viewed the Earth and stopping climate change.
Greta became famous for leading protests. She inspired other students around the world to protest too. She called these protests Fridays for Future. At the protests, students gave speeches and held signs that encouraged leaders to learn more about climate change. They encouraged leaders to learn about stopping climate change. Students in countries around the world participated in these protests. Greta started meeting with leaders too. She meets with leaders to talk about climate change and what countries and people can do to help stop climate change and protect Earth.
Okay, so Greta was leading protests by herself, and then she became famous for leading protests by herself. And other people came to join her. So the students in countries around the world have started participating in these protests, and Greta has started meeting with leaders too. She has now been able to meet with leaders in various parts of the world.
Greta gives speeches at important meetings. She gave speeches in front of government leaders in Italy, France, and the US. During her speeches, Greta asks leaders to pass laws that protect Earth. She talks about ideas she has to protect Earth. She thinks everyone can help. She asks people not to fly on planes, because planes make pollution that can hurt Earth. Greta is brave and meets with many adult leaders to talk about something important to her. Protecting Earth is important to Greta Thunberg. Why is protecting Earth important?
So why do you think protecting our Earth is so very important, and why would Greta be fighting for it? Okay, I want you guys to log on to Canvas and download the weekly, and make sure you do the slides that are assigned to you by your initials. You guys have a great day.